Hello viewers. Today, we will discuss about Electronic Travel Authorization, ETA, of Canada. In the video, we will cover: what is an Electronic Travel Authorization? Who needs an ETA? Who may be eligible to apply for an ETA? Who cannot apply for an ETA and need to carry other identification? Who are exempt from the ETA requirement? How do I apply for an ETA? After you apply. What is an Electronic Travel Authorization? An Electronic Travel Authorization, ETA, is an entry requirement for visa-exempt foreign nationals traveling to Canada by air. An ETA is electronically linked to a traveler's passport. It is valid for up to 5 years or until the passport expires, whichever comes first. If you get a new passport, you need to get a new ETA. With a valid ETA, you can travel to Canada as often as you want for short stays, normally for up to 6 months at a time. You do not need an ETA for travel within Canada. An ETA doesn't guarantee entry to Canada. When you arrive, a border services officer will ask to see your passport and other documents. You must convince the officer that you are eligible for entry into Canada.
Who needs an ETA to travel to Canada?
There are 4 types of travelers. Travelers who need an ETA. Travelers who may be eligible to apply for an ETA. Travelers who cannot apply for an ETA and need to carry other identification. Travelers who are exempt from the ETA requirement. Travelers who need an ETA. Visa-exempt foreign nationals, mentioned below, need an ETA to fly to or transit through a Canadian airport. These travelers do not need an ETA when arriving by car, bus, train, or boat, including a cruise ship. Travelers who may be eligible to apply for an ETA. Citizens from select visa-required countries, mentioned below, may be eligible to apply for an ETA, instead of a visa, to travel to Canada by air. However, these travelers need a visitor visa when arriving by car, bus, train, or boat, including a cruise ship. Travelers who cannot apply for an ETA and need to carry other identification. Canadian citizens, including dual citizens, need a valid Canadian passport. American Canadians can travel with a valid Canadian or US passport. Canadian permanent residents need a valid permanent resident card or permanent resident travel document. An important information regarding former residents of Canada: permanent resident, PR, status does not expire. If you once lived in Canada many years ago, you could still have PR status. Learn more to avoid travel delays. Visa required including aliens, passport holders, and stateless individuals. Travelers who are exempt from the ETA requirement. US citizens are exempt from the ETA requirement and must carry proper identification, such as a valid US passport. Lawful permanent residents of the United States who hold valid status in the US are exempt from the ETA requirement. They must carry official proof of status, or an equivalent status document, and a valid passport from their country of nationality, or an equivalent travel document. See the complete list of documents for lawful permanent residents of the US. How do I apply for an ETA? Only apply for an ETA on this official Government of Canada website. Applying for an ETA is a simple online process that takes just a few minutes to complete. Most applicants get their ETA approval via an email within minutes. However, some requests can take several days to process if you're asked to submit supporting documents. It is best to get an ETA before you book your flight to Canada. An ETA costs $7 Canadian. You can only apply and pay for one person at a time. To complete the form, you will need your passport, a credit card, and an email address. You must also answer a few questions. Avoid this common mistake when you apply. If you enter the wrong passport number on the ETA form, you will have problems flying to Canada. Use the ETA help guide, link mentioned in the description box, and follow the instructions to enter your passport number correctly. Use the number that is at the top of your passport information page, the page with your photo. What to bring to the airport. When we approve your ETA, it will be linked to the passport you used to apply. You need to present this passport when you check into your flight to Canada. The airline staff will scan your passport to confirm that you have a valid ETA. If you do not have one, you won't be able to board your flight. Avoid hassles at the airport. Once your ETA is approved, check that the passport number included in your ETA approval email matches the number in your passport. If they don't match, you need to apply for a new ETA. After your application. In most cases, you will receive an email within minutes. However, some requests may need several days to process. If this is the case for your application, you can expect an email from us within 72 hours of applying. This email will tell you what your next steps are. You'll be notified by email when your ETA is approved. The approval email includes your ETA number. Keep this number in case you need to contact us or want to check the status of your ETA in the future. If you change your email address after you apply for an ETA, you must update your address online. You can do this with this web form. If you entered the wrong passport number, you may not be able to board your flight to Canada. You may only find out at the airport if you made a mistake. You'll have to reapply for an ETA. Depending on your situation, it may not be possible to get an ETA at the last minute. Situations where you may need extra documents on arrival. If either of the following situations applies to you or someone you'll travel with, have the documents indicated in hand. You have a child under the age of 18, a minor child. In Canada, a child under the age of 18 is considered a minor. You may need to show a letter from one or both parents, or a legal guardian, that authorizes the minor child to travel to Canada, and other documents, such as adoption papers or a custody decree, depending on if the minor child travels alone or not. Any help? You can ask about ETA if you need help. Thank you for watching.